What an honor and a privilege it is to be here with you today, especially covering the topic that is very near and dear to my heart and one that has transformed my life, and I know it can transform yours as well. Are you ready to get started? If you haven't already done so, please grab you a pen and a pad so that you can take good notes. Do you have all the right connections? I have three primary objectives for this presentation today. Number one, what is a power connector and why you should care? Why you should aspire to become one. Number two, how to leverage the power of networking to take your business and your life to the next level. And number three, I'll be sharing with you some tips and techniques to build a network that is not only invaluable to you, but it will be just as valuable to all those lives who you'll influence. You have a choice today. Would you like for your life to be ordinary or extraordinary? All it takes is that little bit of extra. And guess what? The topic that we're going to be covering today is that little extra that is going to enable you to go from ordinary to extraordinary. The choice is yours. Did you know that your network is actually equal to your net worth? What's yours saying about you? If you'd like to rise higher, go further, faster in all areas of your life, not just your career or your personal life, but your in business endeavors as well, learning how to become a power connector, master networker, and referral partner extraordinaire is a vital skill set that should not be ignored. In fact, it should be one that should be on the top of your list to master. My name is Nancy Gaskins. I specialize in small business development, specifically entrepreneurship. I host a variety of structured, fun platforms each and every week. We have a group of entrepreneurs and small business owners from around the world that gather, connect, partner, and profit. If you or anybody that you know are looking for creative solutions to fund, launch, or exponentially grow their business, in other words, to take their business to the next level, I'm your gal. I have all the connections, all the expertise, and I have access to the tools and resources in which to help you do so. Now, although my area of expertise is entrepreneurship, my superpower is actually in my ability to connect with people from all around the world, a diverse group of people, and build a professional network that actually works. Did you hear that? I have a network that works. Does your network work for you? We're about to find out. I currently have over 18,000 global connections across a variety of platforms, which include my referral partnership network. In addition, I meet with about 100 to 150 entrepreneurs one-on-one and in small groups each and every week. You might be surprised. I'm always asked, what's that number one skill set that you recommend, Nancy? What is it? What is it that's going to take me from here to where I want to be? And you're going to be surprised because guess what? It's not from my MBA. It's not from the tons of professional development courses that I've had throughout the year. It's not my time that I was spent as Dean of Business or Director of Education. It's not from the 30 plus moves of me globetrotting around the world, following my Army infantry husband all over the world. It's also not me working from the bottom to the top, a variety of industries, leadership capacities around the world. And although I have this uncanny knack of generating almost an unlimited supply of business ideas, it's not that either. Are you ready to hear my secret? You've probably already guessed. I've already told you. It's my ability to connect and build relationships with people from all over the world. That's only the first part of it. The second part, which is the most important part, is I've been able to not only connect those people with myself, but I connect and mobilize them with others to help solve problems. That is what it means to become a power connector. That is indeed my superpower. I believe in synergy Aristotle had this famous quote that he said that the whole is greater than the sum of our parts. We're better together. There's enough success, money, business ideas for all of us to prosper around the world. So I encourage everybody in my network to embrace this same philosophy. What do? We freely facilitate introductions, referrals, and we get together on a regular basis to mastermind symbiotic relationships for all those in our sphere of influence. Living by this principle has transformed my life, and I guarantee you it can transform yours as well. For many years, it was a standing joke between me and my husband. Everywhere I went, I would run into somebody that I knew. I went to school with, went to college with, in a sorority with, whatever. Anyways, he thought that I was making it all up. Seriously. He said there was no way that one person could know that many people. He was wrong. I began to finally take notice of this gift around 2006. Seems like everybody around me was always asking, "Hey, Nancy, do you know somebody that could do this or somebody that could do that?" Or I would hear them say, "You know what? I don't have a clue. Go ask Nancy Gaskins. She knows everybody." 9 times out of 10, guess what? I could answer yes or point them in the right direction. Here's the problem. I was a great networker. I knew lots of people, but I didn't realize just how valuable that skill set was. I didn't know how to leverage that network or capitalize on that gift. And my bank account and net worth certainly proved that point. Zig Ziglar had this famous quote. He said, "You can have anything in life that you want as long as you help enough other people get what they want." So I finally began to take that wise saying to heart and started making that my primary objectives. That mindset has paid off in spades for me, both in my personal and professional life, and I guarantee it'll do the same for you. So today, my job is I'm going to introduce and lay the foundation blocks that you need to build a power grid of influence. Basically, it's going to be the foundation that you need to establish a network, one that's going to be, like I said before, not just invaluable to you, but it will be just as valuable to all those whose lives you have the opportunity to touch and serve. Is your network working? How do you know? How would you find out? Let me ask you this. How many contacts, friends, and connections do you have on social media? Look on your mobile phone. How many contacts are in that cell phone? Now, here's the kicker. How many of those people have actually given you an introduction, a recommendation, a referral, maybe a gift, a thank you card? How many of those people have actually done business with you over the last year or the last 90 days? Here's the second part to that question. How many have you given to all those people in your sphere of influence? Do the math. Don't have a clue? It's time that you get one. Have you heard that phrase, 6 degrees of separation? It's the idea that people on average are 6 or fewer social connections away from each other. What this can mean to you is that the solution to absolutely any problem that you may have, any obstacle, any issue, whatever, anything that you may be facing, are only 6 connections away. Folks, that's powerful. The more people that you have in your network, the more connections that can be made. And if you handle this correctly, those connections can blossom into long-term relationships that you should nurture and mature into a fully functioning network filled with people that you know, like, and trust. Where have you heard those 3 words before? Know, like, and trust. Most of you are in business, you will have learned, guess what? People do business with people that they what? Know, like, and trust. So those are 3 very important keys and tools to put in your toolbox. This is where all the magic happens. Some of you may be wondering, What are some of the ways that networking can actually benefit me? Maybe you're not a business person. Maybe you're not an entrepreneur. Maybe you're just an everyday person out there. So let's talk about this. I've got 5 ways that networking can benefit you. First of all, you need to level up. We all need to level up. Eagles don't hang out with turkeys. That's an old saying that birds of a feather flock together. Let me tell you what, it is true. Did you also know that your income is a direct reflection of the average income of the 10 people that you spend the most time with? So if you want to rise higher, go further, faster, guess what? You got to start hanging around with the right people. Look for those that inspire you, those that will challenge you, those that provide encouragement, those that, you know what, when you need it, they're going to hold you accountable. They're not going to mince words. They're going to tell you the truth. They're going to tell you not what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. They're going to hold your feet to the fire. And when you're slacking and not living up to your full potential, guess what? They're going to let you know about it. When you're in trouble, they're going to be there like a New York minute. They're going to be there to help you right then, right there. That's the power of a network. Number 2, having a proper network can establish you as a person of influence. If you or somebody that you knew was interested in launching a new career, maybe they want to start a new business, maybe somebody that you know is needing a new job, or maybe somebody in business, they need some type of graphic designed in a rush. Or what if you woke up and you had a computer crash in the middle of the night and you need something right away? What if your mom's car broke down and you needed an auto mechanic? Do you have people within your sphere of influence that you could easily and quickly refer them to? You need to establish yourself as the go-to person, the cog in the wheel that connects all those people with problems with those who can solve those problems. There's nothing more valuable to others and nothing more valuable to you and nothing more rewarding than having the ability to help other people solve their problems. Number 3, perhaps you need advice, help, or recommendations. Could you use a mentor or a coach to help you get from where you are to where you want to be? Doesn't matter whether it's life, business, whatever. How would you like to shave decades of trial and error off of your learning curve? Do you have a problem at work that you could use an unbiased opinion on how to handle? You know, somebody that totally would be willing to tell you the truth? Do you need a sounding board to see if you're on the right track? Maybe if you're missing something, maybe there's one little piece that you might be missing. A network filled with all the right connections can help you achieve that and more. Number 4, help. Yeah, SOS, help. Do you see the flags going up, the fire? If you had an emergency, do you have people that immediately come to the top of your mind that you could call, text, or email 24 hours a day, anytime, and they would respond and come to your aid within minutes, no longer than an hour? Guess what? Network can help you with that. Number 5, have you been looking for a frontline profit machine for your business? I mentioned previously that I meet with around 100 to 150 entrepreneurs each and every week, and a lot of those are one-on-one. And the number one problem that they face, that they cite to me, is they have a lack of access to a steady stream of quality referrals. I happen to know that's not true. It's just that they have not mastered the art of the topic that we're discussing today. So could you use more sales? Qualified leads? Are you ready to take your business to the next level? If you build a referral partnership network the correct way, you can watch your business grow exponentially. You can form joint ventures, collaborations, other symbiotic relationships like that. Your business can literally soar to new heights almost overnight if you have this set up correctly. Something that I want to ask you right quick. Are all your friends, family members, everybody within your sphere of influence, are they very clear about what it is that you do, how you do it, who your target market is, what you're working on, what's your latest project? How can they help you? Do they really know the answer to that question? 9 times out of 10, the answer I'm hearing back from you is no, they don't. Did you know that word of mouth recommendations from family, friends, and colleagues rank highest in trustworthiness? Number 2 stat, 81% of U.S. online purchase decisions are influenced by their friends' social media post. Wow, 81%. Number 3, people are 4 times more likely to buy when referred by a friend. Last but not least, 77% of consumers are more likely to buy a new product when learning about it from friends and family. Buddy, if you're a business owner or an entrepreneur, this should really wake you up and shake you up so that you understand the power of building a professional network to go to work for you. So, what exactly is a master networker? To know what a master networker is, you must first be able to recognize what it is not. Have you ever been to a networking event and seen somebody just going around person to person collecting business cards? Not a master networker. Have you ever made what seemed like was a really quality connection, but never received a follow up afterwards? Not a master networker. Have you ever been in a conversation with somebody and they're looking around all over the place instead of paying attention to the conversation? In fact, you get the idea that probably they're looking around for a better option than you. That's not a master networker. Have you ever been to what was supposed to be a networking event and the same people are always there? They're always in their cliques, talking and chatting amongst themselves instead of meeting new people. Not a master networker. Now compare that with the following. Do you know somebody who never seems to meet a stranger? They make you feel like you're the center of attention. You're the only person in the room. When you leave, oh my gosh, you leave feeling like you are on top of the world. You enjoy meeting them. They leave a positive impression. And let me tell you what, you usually say, man, that is an interesting person. But if you really think about it and you reflect on the conversation about what just happened, probably it was because they let you talk about yourself. It was all about you and not them. That is the difference between a master networker. Now, here's a caveat. You have to genuinely like people to be a master networker. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to be an extrovert. Don't get that wrong. I'm talking you have to genuinely like people, because this is all about building relationships with people over time. This is not something that happens overnight. This is over time. You have to sow some seeds. You have to grow your garden before you can receive that wonderful harvest. But let me tell you what, it is worth planting for the bountiful harvest that you're going to receive in the future. Now, introverts, you don't have to become an extrovert. You just have to learn how to engage with people. Extroverts, I need to tell you, it's not about you. It should be about the other person. You need to think about this. Strangers are just friends that you've not yet met. Again, this is about building and maintaining quality relationships. So here's some traits of a power connector. Take a look at this and see how you rate as a power connector. You need to analyze yourself and be able to fill in the gaps. One of the most important things about being a power connector is you need to have shared values with folks. You need to be able to add value to someone. And we'll be talking a little bit later on about how you can do that. Some of you may just be getting started and think that you don't have any value to add, but you do. Then you have to create value together. So kind of like I said about that Aristotle thing, about the whole is better than the sum of the parts. So it's like 1 + 1 is not equal to 2. It should be equal to 5 or 10 when you put people together. How strategic are your current relationships? This is like a report card. I want you to rate yourself from A to F on each one of these questions today. How many people do you consistently communicate with and are actively adding value? Number 2, How much do you actually know about the networks of the people in your network? What are they involved in? How diverse are the ecosystems in your network? Some of you may not realize what I'm talking about when I say ecosystem. I'm talking about what is their involvement in the community, their academic, industry, financial, political, charitable, their family and friends. Those are all different ecosystems that could provide you and your network with an even larger network. It's amazing. How many groups are you connected to, and how many groups are connected through you to other groups? Do you have a list of high value connections with whom you'd like to develop a strategic relationship? If you don't have a list, how can anybody help you make those introductions? That's a tall price to pay right there. But let me tell you what, again, it's worth it. It's going to take some time to build and establish the relationship and the network that I'm talking about. But again, it depends on, are you wanting to be ordinary or you want to be extraordinary? So you need to assess your value add potential, make an inventory, fill in the gaps with these strategic relationships. You need to know who you are, what you have to offer, and what you need. Understand your strengths and weaknesses so you can fill in the gaps with somebody else who have those opposite you. Much of the value that you're going to provide is going to be in your ability to connect them with resources that they need. You don't necessarily have to know everything and have all that knowledge between your head. You just need to know where to go get that information. You need to be an information source for those people. So, number 2 topic, how to build a network. Well, first of all, you need to become a master networker. Then you need to grow up and level up and become power connector status. That's where you're the facilitator of all of these connections. That's when you're the cog in the wheel and everybody knows that you're the go-to person. You need to know something, contact you because you know somebody who can help them. Next, we're going to create a power grid of influencers. This is where you are intentionally building your network wide, deep, and robust. Now, we're talking about building this massive network. We don't want to just take anybody and everybody into your network. There's several people that you do not want in your network. So stay away from them. Those are leeches, psychopaths, and bad actors. Let's take them one by one. Leeches. Leeches, oh my gosh, they take but never give. They need your attention. They crave your praise for even the smallest of efforts. They need you for everything. Their requests are endless until, if you need something, they're going to make you feel like it is a huge imposition. So stay away from the leeches. Number 2, psychopaths are manipulators and predators. Here's something that's interesting about them. They're attractive and they're an expert at manipulation. They can pour on the charm. They get you to like them. They can manipulate you into getting whatever they want. They're self-centered. They're dishonest. They lie, cheat. They're not interested in helping you, only helping themselves. You may have to deal with them in business, but steer clear of any strategic relationships that you put together with these psychopaths. Number 3, bad actors. Basically, they have bad character. They have great strengths and enormous expertise, but stay away from them anyways. They put themselves first. They break their commitments. They treat other people poorly. They become very defensive if confronted about it. Believe you me, I've come in contact with several. Kick them out and warn everybody, run, don't walk. Be very cautious when you're dealing with these people. Again, they're very deceptive. So where to look for connections? First of all, let's look at the connections that you already have. Let's reconnect with folks. Look on your cell phone, your social media, your school, the groups that you're involved in, and start to strengthen those weak ties. Look at your friends and family members, your neighbors. There's also a hidden network here. That's a friend of a friend. You know, let's look at social media. If you've heard of something that's gone viral, the way that does that And I'll get that stat to you. I can't remember it right off the top of my head, but let's just say if everybody in here had 500 friends on their list, those 500 know 500, those know 500, and so on and so forth on average. Most of you probably in this group have several thousand just on Facebook alone. So it doesn't take very long for that network to really, really grow. So look at clubs, organization, and volunteer opportunities. Did you know, those of you who might be living here in my region called Northwest Florida, there's over 6,000 nonprofit organizations that I was able to uncover within a 5-county region. That's 375,000 households and over 6,000 nonprofits. And a lot of those don't even talk to each other and know what each other's doing. So there's a huge opportunity right there. Think about your coworkers, your industry, your customers, and your vendors. Think about your mailman. Think about everybody that you come in contact with. That is a source to be added to your network. Last but not least, due to this COVID crisis that we've had, a lot of businesses have had to pivot and move online. Those that didn't, many of them really saw a decline in their business, their revenue, and their profitability. But those who embrace the online sector has really done quite well. And in fact, some of them have said they're not even going to go back to the old way of doing business. So maybe you need to think globally. Think about these virtual marketplaces. Think about your social media groups. Now, one thing I will caution you is you don't want to have all your network tied up into one platform. That can be very, very dangerous. And that's for a topic that we'll cover at a different time. But let's look at these stats. There's 7.8 billion people in the world, 128 million households in the United States, 12.4 million households in Canada. And right here regionally for me, I have about 375,000 households within 1 hour. That is a lot of folks to add to your network. Would you agree? Okay, your power grid of influencers. Just because I have 18,000 people in my network spread across all these platforms does not mean that I have really close relationships with all those people. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm working on that, and I'm working right now to bring them all under one umbrella. But the most important thing that you need to do is you need to gather together your power grid of influencers. And what we call this is your 550, 100. So it's time to evaluate your current relationships. You need to probably kick some of them out until you see who needs to go into what category. Okay. Number one, your top 5. This is your circle of trust, people that are closest to you. You have daily contact with those people. You need to really step back and look at who you're spending your time with, because that is going to determine how you're going to elevate yourself in life or business or anything else. Perhaps you're around too many toxic people. You need to kind of scoot those over to the side. Some of them may be family and friends, and that's a little bit difficult to do. But if you truly want to live an extraordinary life, this is what you're going to have to do. Next level, your key 50. Those are people who have significant value to your life. So you're always looking for ways to add value. Every time I'm around, anything that I look online, the newspapers, whatever, I'm always thinking, who can this help? What's this information going to do for some of the people in my network? How can I bring value to them? Next is your vital 100. People who fit your criteria. So that means what? You have to have a criteria that you set up in advance. You need to touch base with these people at least one time per month. Okay, so that kind of gives you a framework for 155 people that you should have in your close network. This is rather interesting. This is called the Genie Effect. You need to think of yourself like a genie. The more you know, the more the people in your network can grow. So here's some questions that I use that you need to find out about your people, or you can tweak these to fit your particular current circumstances. How can I help? What are you working on? What are you looking for? What do you need? How can I serve you better? What are your goals for the upcoming year? Find out what are their gifts, talents, areas of expertise. Do they have any hobbies? Do they have any special interests? What clubs and organizations are they involved in? What areas do they struggle? Do they need some specific introductions? Who's a good lead for you? Who are their spheres of influence? Now, just in these 8 questions alone, you're not going to get that from one sitting. How are you going to get that information? That's going to be over time, right? As you build your relationship, you're going to get to know these people. And so with that, I encourage you to have a really good CRM, customer relationship management system, that you can track all of this. Basically, you want what? Your wish is my command. Where are you struggling? What areas? I can help you with that. That's what you want to say. You want to always be able to say, I can help you with that, or I know somebody who can help you with that. Let me connect you. And don't just leave them there. Once you connect, you need to follow up. Here's some tips from a master network. If you haven't heard of Keith Ferrazzi, you need to Google him and look up. This is 10 Secrets of a Master Networker article. You talking about a networker, this guy is it. So here's some interesting things over here on the right side. Never eat alone. There's actually a book about that. You know, breaking bread together is a really good way to get to know somebody, because it's kind of an informal setting where you kind of just let your hair down and get to know one another. Keep your calendar full. Be interesting. How are you to be interesting? Anybody got any ideas? You have to broaden your horizons. You have to try new things. You have to go to different places, right? Do a little traveling maybe. Find some ways that you can be interesting. Read articles. Don't just be a one-tunneled person. You need to be known for content. Have something to say to people. Perfect your pitch. This is one that we work on our Lunch and Learn Zoom Fridays. Very, very important. Manage the gatekeeper. Did you know that the receptionist and the secretary is the heartbeat of every company? Yes, they're going to determine whether you get in or get out to the person that you want to connect with, right? If you don't ask, the answer is always going to be no. Just ask. The worst case scenarios, they can say no. Don't keep score. So these are some really great tips. Now it's time to talk about 3 powerful leverage techniques. And this is where you can exponentially grow your business or your life, whatever it is that you're wanting to take to the next level. This is it. Referral partnerships. What do you think the other one's going to be? We're going to get to that. Imagine the impact of having 5, 10, 20 or more referral partners added to your business and your network each week over the next 12 months. Now, people, family, and friends are not automatically your referral partners. They've got to be trained. Everybody has to be trained. Not everybody, unless you're a business person, that's your thing. You don't really know how to properly refer someone. So with that, how do you train somebody? You have to get very clear and focused on your target market, your elevator pitch, and offers. I need to know what it is that you do specifically, who it is that you serve. I need to know what kind of offers, what kind of products and services that you offer, what kind of problems do you solve. So the more clear that you can get on that, the better I'm able to help you as your referral partner. Give to get. It implies that you're going to have commitment and reciprocity. One of the things is a lot of referral partners are totally one-sided. That's terrible. It's not going to take long till everybody is going to write you off because you are not reciprocating. Now, that doesn't mean that we keep score, but it means that in order for you to get good referrals and to establish a referral partnership network, you need to also be able to do in some of that give and take also. You need to offer attractive incentives. Give things that are going to excite and delight your referral partners. That doesn't always necessarily mean money. For example, I have 8 grandchildren. So, something that'll have something to do with me being a better grandma or something like that, I would love it. Books. I love books. So it doesn't always have to be about money. What's the difference between a pro and an amateur? You're going to commit to that relationship on paper. This is going to be the terms. This is what you're going to get. This is how I reward my referral partners. And each one of you could be a little bit different. So you need to create a plan, track your results, and reward your power players. Again, this is going to take a little time to set up, but anything worth doing is worth doing right. And if you start and do this right from the beginning, you're going to reap rewards that will carry on for generations to come. Next, here's your next powerful play. Cooperative projects. Oh my goodness, this is huge. Okay, I have 11 ideas listed on the right side of that slide. The most important thing you've got to know about cooperative projects is each one needs to be a win-win for all parties involved. The most obvious collaborations are on all these summits and these trainings and these conferences that are being advertised across social media, even the one that we're participating in today. This is where high impact subject matter experts come together to participate in events. We all invite our individual networks to register and attend the event, which expands the reach to a worldwide audience. This means that all of us get worldwide exposure for ourselves, our brand, business, products, and services, right? So instead of, like, my network is 18,000, but Susie Smith may have 20,000 in hers, Jane Doe may have 5,000 in hers, Jamie may have 10 in hers, so-and-so may have a couple of hundred. By the time you get all these people involved, this is a network of, 100,000 people that just by participating in this one event, we have the opportunity to get in front of new audiences and bring them into our network. Let's talk about affiliate programs. I highly recommend those. If you love a product or service, you should get paid to promote it. Now, how many times have you promoted a movie, a great restaurant, or whatever? 9 times out of 10, they're not going to pay you for it. Well, as an entrepreneur or a business person, you should be getting paid for that. If not, if you're not interested in that, if you're, not here for business purposes, fine, but you're leaving some money on the table. Anything that we do in my network, I tell people all the time, it's kind of a standing joke. Where's your affiliate link? Have you signed up for an affiliate? What if they don't have one? Well, guess what? Go ask them to make you one. Go ask, have you considered having an affiliate partnership? Because I have a network of XYZ number of people and I would like to promote your product, but I want a piece of the action, right? My network currently is working on a couple of cooperation projects that I'd like to give you some ideas. We've got a book cooperation. We've got a home-based business job fair for direct sales rep. We're going to do a Meet the Author virtual marketplace. We co-opt and paid for a referral partnership website called meetmyreferralpartners.com. We're working on getting everybody migrated over to that platform. It's amazing, but we all pitched in a few bucks and made that happen. We co-op resources, expertise, or knowledge, and then we have a revenue sharing split between all those participating. Now, what about this cost sharing that we're talking about? For example, a women's boutique might partner with accessories, somebody who has handbags, jewelry, shoes, different type of things like that to make it a win-win. Another thing is you might share online lead magnets. You might come together and create this fabulous lead page or website, and you have a high quality partnership, like maybe, let's say, a wedding planner. Under that umbrella, she might get involved with a caterer, somebody who has flowers, photographer, event venues, and even officiant for the weddings. And you come together and share those expenses, and you all promote it. You all have different target audiences, but they all need the same thing for their one event. So that would be a really great lead magnet that they could share. So we have some homework goals for you. Number 1, you need to practice and master the art of connecting. Number 2, I want you to create and implement a referral partnership program. Number 3, brainstorm collaborations and joint venture ideas within your network. Here's some specific ideas on how you can make that happen. Master networker homework. You need to work on that elevator pitch and offer. And my group, here's what we do. So I'm going to encourage you to do the same. You need a 30-second, you need a minute and a half, you need a 3-minute elevator pitch and offer. You need a 5-minute and a 10-minute presentation. I don't care whether you're standing in line at the grocery store, at your kid's ball game, or in a professional networking event. You need to be able to promote yourself, promote your business, or whatever it is that you're needing on a minute's notice. You need to be just prepared up front. You don't need to find out, oh my gosh, I got an event in 30 minutes that I could go to and I don't have anything prepared. You need to always have something prepared. Here's something else. Talk to 3 strangers a day. Just start practicing. You're in line at a store, whatever. In your day-to-day normal business or life activities, just try to talk to 3 strangers a day. Reconnect with 3 people in your network a day. That's easy. No problem, right? Go on your social media. Go down through your contacts on your phone. Just reach out. Hey, it's been a while. I hadn't seen you. Let's go have lunch. Or what's going on in your world? Those type of things. Next, make a list of all the people that you'd like to meet. Okay? So that's your master network homeworker. Here's something else. More connections are less important than the right connections. You need all the right connections to live an extraordinary life. Next, your referral partnership homework. Create a one-page written plan for your referral partnership program. Identify 3 incentives that would encourage people to refer. Remember, I told you it's not necessarily all about the money. Although commissions, finder's fees, bird dog fees, whatever you want to call them, are great, there may be some other things that you can offer your referral partners. And then last but not least, establish your first 3 referral partnership relationships. Next, here's your cooperation homework. Brainstorm and identify 3 projects that would work for your business. Who could you cooperate with? And then establish one project that you could participate in over the next 90 days. In fact, grab some people together and just do a short little brainstorming session on how this might look or how you might work together. Now, before we end up here today and finalize, I have a poem that I'd like for you to listen to. It's called The Dash by Linda Ellis. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on her tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of her birth, and he spoke of the following date with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time that she spent alive here on earth. And now only those that love her know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what's true and real and always try to understand the way other people feel and be less quick to anger and to show appreciation more and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash? I love that. That's one of my most favorite poems in all the world. And I hope that encourages you to go out and live an extraordinary life. Now I've got some special bonuses for you today. For those of you who hung in and come to the very end, we've got some opportunities in my network. First of all, we have Lunch and Learn Zoom Fridays every Friday from 11:30 to 1. The second Tuesday of each month, we have a mid-month mastermind strategy session from 11:30 to 1. And then we've got some other events down here. We've got some virtual marketplace events, joint ventures, cooperation projects, and all of that. If you would like to learn more about any of those, feel free to text your information to my phone number there at 850-499-7149. Now let's get to the bonuses. The first bonus today is let's do a one-on-one and discuss how we might could bring value to one another. I'm going to give you a free 30-minute consultation. In order to take advantage of that, I just need you to text hashtag Let's Connect to 850-499-7149. I'll ask you to fill out a short referral partnership survey so that I can get to know you a little bit better before we meet. And then we'll schedule a Zoom call at your convenience so that we can have our consultation. That's the first bonus. Bonus number 2, I'd like to invite you to be my guest and come and take us for a test drive to see if we're a good fit. I want you to feel what it feels like to surround yourself with those who can actually make you feel limitless. Come and join us for one of our Lunch and Learn Zoom Fridays. If you will text hashtag Show Me the Money to that phone number below, I'll send you the details and the Zoom link. If you'd like to go and check out the website that I told you about today that's filled with our referral partners, that would be meetmyreferralpartners.com. Again, I thank you very much for joining us today, and it's been my pleasure. If I can be of service to you in any way whatsoever, shape, or form, please be sure to reach out. Take care.